The inheritance. Dan got a letter with some surprising news, most likely. Alright, let's see. What is... I hear people. I don't see anybody. Let's go see what this note says. Whether your child enjoys arts and crafts, swimming, sports, recreation, singing, or exploring, they're sure to have a ball at Camp Emerald Lake. We know that every family has unique needs, and we strive to be flexible as possible. Daily, weekly, and monthly packages are available in both sleepover and pickup options. Our lifeguards are fully certified, and every counselor is trained in the cutting-edge cardiopulmonary resuscitation technique. Our goal is fun, but our priority is safety. The enclosed brochure contains information on all the exciting opportunities at Camp Emerald Lake. We're sure you'll find many things to like, and we hope to see your child soon. So I guess Tommy wants to go to camp. There's a picture right there. I hear Dan typing. Playing with a friend. There's some crazy hair. He's got some bushy hair. Maybe he bedhead. 2 of 4 for Tommy. There's Tommy already. Linda snuck up on me. Not cool, Linda. Where did she go? She must have... Yeah, she went in there. Let's see what... Anything in the kitchen real quick? I saw that letter. But nothing in the kitchen. Let's see what this letter is. Dan, I hope you're doing well. I got this address from your father. I hope it's correct. I'll get to the point. When your cousin Richard passed away last year, we discovered that his pipe business had done very well. He wasn't wealthy, but he was very comfortable. At the execution of his will, we were somewhat surprised to find that he wished to distribute his estate among all living blood relatives. He reserved the lion's share for his immediate family, as I'm sure you'll understand, but there was a portion allotted to you as well. Enclosed is a check for the full amount. I trust you will honor his memory by putting it to good use. Uncle Wayne. So that's what his letter was, inheritance. But they don't say how much. Let's go see. Okay. Oh, hey, what? Tommy just right there. What do you say? Riding bikes. Is that the same color clothes as his friend? Okay, his clothes match that bike, and his... Well, no, his don't. Okay, I thought that they was gonna match. Oh, there's a...
I called the co-op today. It isn't wildly expensive, but it sure doesn't fit into the budget. It was a bigger letdown than I thought, not being able to just sign up on the spot. It gets so lonely here sometimes. And I think Tommy's starting to feel it too. We try to play with him every day, and the woods here are pretty magical for someone his age. But kids need to be around other kids sometimes. He can only play with his cars so often. Sometimes I wish there were actual neighbors here. The only friend he's made is Davy, but seeing them at the park once in a while isn't the same as having someone to pal around with every day. It's summer vacation, and he's pretty much all alone.
Alright, one of Linda's clues. I hear somebody. Let's jump in there. Let's go upstairs. See what is going... What was that? Sometimes...
Blast off!
Why are the houses so far apart? Let's go and see what Tommy's memories are. Where is it? Here. Oh, there's him and his dad downstairs here. Let's see what... He has a rocket.
What about your rocket?
What about your rocket?
I already played with it.
Still hear more. Must be upstairs. There he is. What's he doing? Oh, he's drawing a picture. Him and his dad. Gotta love that mustache. Oh, Gabe Kaplan. Welcome back, Carter mustache. Exit Tommy's memories when it's... Okay. Exit. Whoa! That scared me. Alright, where is everybody else at? Oh, there both of them are. Okay. Ooh, there's paper. And a journal. Where's Dan going? Oh, there's something in the bathroom too I just saw. Let's go see what Linda... What is her... Oh, there she is.
I've barely had any journal entries since we arrived, and I'm writing this one with a god-awful headache. Not a good track record so far, Linda. I tried to get Dan to take a night off last night, but he said he just didn't have the time. So I opened that bottle of wine myself after Tommy got to bed and somehow finished the whole thing. I knew I should have eaten something, and now I'm paying for it. Alright, time to see if my stomach's settled enough to figure out where we put the aspirin. It's gonna take a while to get used to where everything is in this place.
Shouldn't it be easy to find the aspirin? Shouldn't it just be like in the bathroom? Nobody's sitting on the toilet. I hear more where? Must be maybe downstairs? Oh, there they are.
Is there something out there?
There's always...
The entire world's out there.
Oh. I was saying there's always something out there.
I only met Rick once, at a family reunion that must have been, what, 15 years ago? Turns out he made his fortune by, get this, selling high-end pipes. The Sherlock Holmes kind, not the plumbing kind.
Ah.
He must have been a hell of an interesting guy. I mean, he found a niche and made his way in the world. You have to respect that. It makes me wonder, am I giving everything I have to this book, or am I leaving myself an out? It isn't announced yet. I could always pull the plug. I'd never get another advance again, sure, but there isn't a gun to my head. Unless I put one there. Metaphorically, of course.
Of course. Of course. There's a piece of paper over here.
Anne, I'm gonna cut right through the pleasantries and ask you, who is this Ryan that Mom mentioned on the phone? Someone new? Are you trying to keep it a secret, or did it just slip your mind the last time we talked? Spill it! Things here are moving along, I guess. When we came up, I thought it would be great to have more dedicated time to paint, but I didn't realize it would be so isolating. I miss having more people around and having new ideas floating about. I got lucky in town last week, though. I found an artist co-op called Makeshift, and it seems really interesting. It's not too big, but there are lots of different types of artists there. I'll probably call and try to get more details. I don't remember if I told you this, but I've been thinking about going back to painting full time. Anyway, enough about me. Tell me what's up with you. Love, Linda.
What's up with you? Okay, let's get in a light just in case someone tries to go see. How many things have we found? Let's see. Search the house for his memories and more clues. Okay, we need more Dan. Okay, we can do the final one. Oh, Dan's in there typing. I can hear him. Let's go see what's going on. There's a letter. Dan, I looked into it, and the guy at the literary register said that pre-release ads do drive up pre-orders quite a bit. It's his job to sell ads, of course, so we have to take that with a grain of salt. I usually leave this kind of thing to the guys in the marketing department, so I'm a little out of depth here. But I checked with them, and they said the same thing. So it seems like the ads would make sense if the book is good. You don't want to oversell and underdeliver. I have to say, this is the first time that I've had a writer offer to pay some extra marketing. You sure about it? There aren't any refunds if the book tanks. You've got some drive though. Coming up with an idea like this, I'll give you that. Think about it and let me know. Paul. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's the literary register May edition inside. Okay, that's the thing he was talking about. Oh, I heard her say, I don't know how much. I know it says, I know what happens. I let the kids play a little bit. Let's see what, hold on.
Don't joke like that.
And when I finish my book in December,
Don't joke like that.
Okay, so here's some more. Maybe downstairs. Oh, there he is.
broke through the fog last night. I found my notebook and it was all right there. Scott takes Alice to the lake to feed the swans, and he's too self-absorbed to switch up his go-to move, and Sarah's there waiting to confront him. He ends up losing them both. It's simple, but it's a clean way to hit the past as anchor theme. I have no clue how I forgot that part, but it doesn't matter now. It's like a dam broke. I got the chapters to Paul on schedule, with enough time to do first-pass revisions. God, I'm glad that's over.
Okay. No more memories. So where's it? Ooh. Okay. Now, like I was saying, when I first installed the game, the kids were like, "Oh, you got that game?" I was like, "Oh, let's get out of here real quick." Sorry. Meow. I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, we want to play." So I let them play for a little bit, and I told them to go and have one of the people in the house see you and see what happens, and it was kind of like a death, kind of like a start over, a little bit of a. It would jump back to kind of like the last save point. So
gotta get some ideas.
Gotta get some ideas. Okay, let's see. Do we have? Okay, now we can read everybody's thoughts further. Throw some gear in my painter bag and take it to the co-op. Okay. Where did the boy go? Oops. Is he in his room? There he is. Bring my kite to that camp Mommy told me about. Dan wasn't here. Did he already move? Oh, he's already gone. These people move. They get around this house pretty quick. Where is Dan? Oh, there he is. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to read his thoughts. I got too close. Read his thoughts. Send Paul an example ad for the literary register. Alright, since we did we did Dan the first chapter, let's do Linda this chapter. So her art supply bag, which I would imagine that would be in her. Is this it? Let's see. Select the bag. Selecting the bag will choose Linda's resolution for this chapter. Dan and Tommy will be disappointed. However, if you've discovered it. Okay, yes, we know that. So we are going to choose Linda. What's happening now? Okay, alright, now we know from the last chapter that when this oh, there's a book. From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 17th, 1948. I am now certain there's something strange with the light here. It must be those windows. I was reviewing old deeds in the living area and saw some sort of flash of light out of the corner of my eye. I would assume the elevation put the ocean too far away for the sun to reflect off of a wave, but perhaps not. I looked, but there was nothing there except a strange shimmer, like a heat above the asphalt on a hot road. It dissipated almost immediately, perhaps some concentration of light that caused it. But on to work. I have begun cataloging possible options for the property. I owe Mr. Lowry a report by the 24th. So that goes back to the moon. 1948. So am I the ghost who has been in the house that whole time? Ooh, toaster. Who has been in the house? There's the refrigerator running still. So am I the ghost even back then, or is it a difference? I don't know. This is what's kind of cool to see about the history of this house. Stay at night. He wants to go camp. Sorry, Tommy. I'll do Tommy's resolution the next chapter. We'll just kind of mix it up a little bit. Let's see, is there anything? Oh, there's something in here. From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 19th, 1948. I failed to log my activities yesterday, as nothing of note occurred. There have been no tricks of light for 2 days, and I've grown certain that the ones I saw were reflections from the ocean improbably reaching the house. I have been able to focus on the task at hand, and I am suitably pleased with the condition of the property. I have also reached a decision on how to proceed. It came to me this morning as I stood in the conservatory admiring the beauty of the forest. I hadn't begun my work yet, and I was thinking of nothing in particular, when an idea came into my head fully formed. I was surprised that it appeared with such clarity, but it's not unheard of for the mind to ponder a question in the subconscious. As for the idea, it was quite simple. I will buy the house myself. Harold Baxter. Okay. checkers. Chinese checkers and chess. Alright, so nothing in here. Alright, let's go. Since it's Linda, do we whisper? No, it don't look like we whisper. Oh, we still whisper to Dan. Oh. Linda was thrilled when Dan told her about the inheritance money and offered to use it for the co-op instead of promoting his book. She started working 2 days a week in town. I found this out. She started working 2 days a week in town, and it was all she'd hoped it would be. She made friends with a few local painters and learned new techniques from them, but simply being around creative people each week did her the most good. Oops, space. Because I even missed some of these the last time. So we'll let it type all the way so I don't have to pause right in the middle. Because I'm anticipating where the end of it's going to be, and I don't know where the end of it's exactly going to be. There we go. Toby didn't know much about the camp he'd heard his parents talking about, but he understood enough to know that there were other kids there to play with. He didn't understand why he couldn't go and show his kite to the other children, and the toy became a reminder of his isolation more than the source of joy. See, making him sad, making his mom happy. Now his dad's gonna be sad since he can. Tough choices that you have to make, just like in real life. That's what's kind of neat about this game, is making these different choices, and you can have several playthroughs making different choices along the way, so that might be something to do as well. Dan decided not to place the ad. Deep down he felt like he was giving himself a vote of no confidence. It was subtle, but he knew that regardless of the book's current state, he had appreciations about being able to finish it the way he wanted. So he hedged his bets. He couldn't shake the lack of confidence for days, and his writing stumbled. So Dan's suffering also.